Hello, my friends, and welcome to this Think Tank Thursday. And the setting is a little bit different. Right now, we are in Hutchinson, Kansas. So at the time of this recording, it is super hot outside. The humidity is going like crazy, and I'm in a really nice frosty room right now. So it's always find the bright side in things, right, guys? And that's exactly what we're going to do here. Now, in this lesson, we're going through everyone communicates and few connect. And my friends, this week I have had so much opportunity to see in experience of life the very topic that we're going to cover tonight, which is actually connecting is about others. Connecting is always about others. And as we start looking at this training tonight, we took a look at this information, I just want to share with you that if you're communicating, but what you're communicating is not received, if it is not connected with the thinking, if it's not connected with the mindset of the other person, then you're not truly communicating. You're not truly communicating. You may think you are. You may think that the things that you're saying are being accepted, but it's not always the case. And that's why I'm going to challenge all of us through this training that we learn to focus on connection. We don't just focus on communication, we focus on connection. Okay, so in this training, one of the connecting principles is connecting is about others. So that's what we're going to look at here. And the quote that I put up here, the statement I put up here is always make it about others. My friends, it is so easy to start thinking about ourselves when we're communicating. It is, because we can practice everything that we're going to say. We can practice our presentation. We can put together really nice screenshots. We can do all these things, and then next thing you know, we begin to believe that communication is about us and the things that we prepare and the things that we say and the things that we do. And that's just not the case. Communication, whether you're communicating via email, whether you're communicating on social media, whether you're communicating on a video like this, whether you're communicating on stage in front of 10,000 people or 100,000 people or 10 people, it doesn't matter. It's always going to be about the other person. And if we're not thinking about the other person when we're preparing material, if we're not thinking about the other person when we're preparing a speech that's going to go out as a keynote in front of those 10,000 people, if we're not thinking about them when we're prepping the information, then we're going to make mistakes. That's just all there is to it. We're not going to connect as well as we could. But if our hearts and our minds are always on the other person, we're always going to be connecting well. Okay, now let's dive into this lesson and see what John says about it. In this first little cartoon that John put in the worksheets, which, by the way, if you don't have your worksheets, reach out to us. We will make sure you get access to these worksheets, because these worksheets are what you're going to want to go through with your team. You're going to want to go through with your family. These worksheets are the exciting part of this program, and it's in the worksheets that you'll get to have discussion and create conversation about communication, and you'll be able to improve it substantially in your organization. Now, this little cartoon, though, says there is no I in team, but there is an M and an E, and that spells me. And my friends, that is so often the case. We get caught up in that, don't we? It's me, and I'd even go so far as to say our product, or our message, our thing, whatever it is that we're doing. We so often get caught up in the me side of it. And we so often get caught up in how great we are as a company and how great we are as a product, or whatever the case is. But it's not the case. We don't, when you think about it, when you think about your own life, when you're talking to someone else about their product, when you're talking about their company, Okay, when maybe someone is coming to sell you something, what matters most to you at that moment? What matters most is the service from the company. What matters most is how long the product's going to last. If you're going to make an investment with them, you want to know that you're doing the right thing. See, when people come to you and you want something or you're needing something, you're always thinking about how it's going to impact your life. If there's a payment plan with it, you're going to be thinking about how it impacts your life financially. You're always going to be thinking about yourself when people are selling to you. Naturally, that's what happens. Now, there does come times when you're thinking about the other company. You have to, but most of the time, think into it. Go back and look at your own life, and you're going to find that to be true. So it is very easy for this to become a reality. It's always about me. So when you're preparing to talk to somebody else, make it about them. This quote from Zig Ziglar is awesome. If you first help people get what they want, they will help you get what you want. And that has proven true in my life so much. I mean, it's just been absolutely insane how well that works, especially when you have two individuals or two organizations that want to help the other company, help the other person. It's crazy. In fact, that's the part of collaboration that makes it work. It's a willingness to work together to get something for both parties. Now, you must ask the question, why I focus on myself and others? Why do I do that? Why do I focus on myself instead of others? Well, number one, immaturity. Immaturity. And my friends, when I first read that, I'm going to tell you honestly, I almost took offense to that. Because I'm like, what? I'm immature? Are you kidding me? Have you seen all the things that I've done with my life? But look at what I just did. Look at what I just did. Made it all about me, didn't I? Didn't I? See, when I started thinking about my own maturity, my own growth, I started thinking about me, right? That's the problem. That's the problem. When people think I'm not immature, instantly you made it about you. You made it about you by default. And I've done the same thing. I still struggle with this. So it's not something that's easy to accept. But in reality, when we fully understand that so much of what we're focused on is immaturity, we can then become mature. Mature, the ability to see and act on behalf of others. The ability to see and act on behalf of others. Think about how powerful that is. That's going to be a sign of maturity. When you're looking at the behalf of the other people, especially those that you serve. Now, I say this carefully because I know a lot of you are in leadership roles in some way, shape, or form. But think about the people that you're serving, people that are under you in an organization, people that report directly to you because you're their boss, you're their leader, okay? Maturity is going to be you helping them be successful, helping them climb the ladder of success. Think about that. Are you going to be mature enough that you could actually help someone develop well enough that they would actually potentially move above you in an organization? Are you going to be okay with that? Are you mature enough that you could actually develop somebody on your team to be better than you? Are you mature enough to do that? Because that requires maturity. Even the great teacher in the scriptures, when Jesus himself said, the things that I do, you're going to be doing so much more things. I'm going to send to you a helper. I'm going to send a helper to you, and you're going to do greater things than these. See, even Jesus wanted his team to do more than he was doing, more than he was capable of in the physical space. So think about that a little bit. What if you were serving like that? And you had the maturity to develop the other people around you, the other people that work for you, and you matured them to be better than you. Just imagine for a moment what your business would look like, what your organization would look like. That's powerful. And one of the things I know for me, when I started looking at this idea of maturity, and I started to realize that if I wanted to be mature, I had to help other people be successful, I recognized that my biggest limiting factor was my ego. It's what makes me focus on myself instead of others. I focus on me because of my ego. Think about that. When somebody says, I don't have an ego, I'm humble, just the very statement alone indicates that they're not. My friends, we all deal with egos. There is no one that doesn't struggle with an ego. But raise your awareness about it. Raise your awareness about that ego. Recognize that you have it and that it is real. And when you begin to realize it's a truth, you will begin to find ways to address it. Okay? We all struggle with ego. I'm going to read this to you in case you're listening to it, not watching. I want you to be able to hear what John built into this story, because this is priceless. And this is going out, in essence, to a speaker that's going to be up on stage in front of a group of people. But I want you to think about it, even if you're just connecting with a small group, maybe a team of 2 or 3 people, or even the person on the other side of the table, if you're just meeting one-on-one. So just listen to this a little bit. It says, "Dear speaker, your ego has become a wall between yourself and me. You're not really concerned about me, are you? You're mostly concerned about whether or not this speech is really working, about whether or not you're doing a good job. You're really afraid that I will not applaud, aren't you? You're afraid that I won't laugh at your jokes or cry over your emotional anecdotes. You are so caught up." Again, I back up there a minute. I think that's how that is said. I apologize. I should have had that word ready. But that's if you're here for an English class, you're in the wrong room. Okay, trust me. You are so caught up in the issue of how I am going to receive your speech, you haven't thought much about me at all. I might have loved you, but you are so caught up in self-love that mine is really unnecessary. If I don't give you my attention, it's because I feel so unnecessary here. When I see you at the microphone, I see narcissist at his mirror. Is your tie straight? Is your hair straight? Is your deportment impeccable? Is your phraseology perfect? You seem in control of everything but your audience. You see everything so well but us. But this blindness to us, I'm afraid, has made us deaf to you. We must go now, sorry. Call us sometime later. We'll come back to you when you're real enough to see us, after your dreams have been shattered, after your heart has been broken, after your arrogance has reckoned with despair. Then there will be room for all of us in your world. Then you won't care if we applaud your brilliance. You'll be one of us. Then you will tear down the ego wall and use those very stones to build a bridge of warm relationship. We'll meet you on that bridge. We'll hear you then. All speakers are joyously understood when they reach with understanding. Oh, my friends, that is so powerful. Even if I don't get all the words right, that is so powerful, isn't it? When people see you in a space where you're communicating, always make it about them. Always make it about them. See, that's what we try to do on this Think Tank Thursday. And I'm still learning myself, my friends, so don't think that I have all this figured out, because I'm still learning. And even like this, though, I don't spend a lot of time reviewing the material. I spend a lot more time learning how I can connect with you. I spend a lot more time thinking about my tone of voice. I spend a lot more time thinking about my body language and the way that I look into the camera, because that's what's going to connect to you. All of this material that John has put together, he's done a great job of putting it together. But John cannot tell me who to become. John cannot tell me who I have to be in my personality, in my behaviors. John can't tell me that. He has all of the material here, though. He has the principles in place. I have to implement them. I have to be the implementer. He's the teacher. I'm the implementer. And that's what I'm challenging you with. Implement. Implement this, and you'll be super, super glad that you did. It will completely change your life. Now, when we think about your audience, the empowered communicator here, as Calvin Miller would say, failure to value everyone is a massive, massive problem. And I see people all the time. I see people continuously looking at the world around them, thinking only of themselves, and totally missing the value of everyone else in their life. My friends, everyone around you has immense value. Everyone. But if we can't see that, if we can't see it, then that is on us, not on them. If we can't see their value, that does not lessen their value. It actually lessens yours if you can't see someone's value. Think about that for a moment. If I don't see value in you, is that on you or is that on me? See, if I don't see value in you, that doesn't lessen your value, but that does tell you something about me, doesn't it? See, I see value in everybody. I see value in absolutely everybody because I'm learning to see value in everybody. That doesn't mean that there's not frustrations. Last night I was listening to a lady at the hotel desk, and beautiful lady, older lady, just a great lady. But she just went on and on and on telling me about the breakfast that we were going to have, 6 hours later. And all I'm thinking about is how tired I am. I just want to go to bed, And she just carried on and on and on. And I was getting very frustrated. And I had to remind myself, Kylan, she's a person of value. She's a person of value. She is a person of value. And she is doing everything that she can in that very moment to add value to me by telling me all about breakfast the next morning. And if I'm mature enough that I can look at her and realize what it is that she's saying, that's me seeing her as a person of value, because everyone has value, my friends. So let's think about this. Add values to others. Connecting questions. What are these questions? Do you care for me? Question number 1. Do you care for me? Can you help me? Can I trust you? Think about those 3 questions. Do you care for me? Nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care. That is just the truth of the matter. Nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care. Do you care for people? Can you help me? People are always wondering, can you help me? When people reach out to support, they're asking one question: can you help me? The world right now, all around us, is begging the question, can you help me? And then last but not least, in fact, probably one of the most important, is can I trust you? Can I trust you? Because if I can't trust you, I know you don't care for me. And if I can't trust you, you won't help me. Think about that. So our key concept, connecting begins when the other person feels valued. Connecting begins when the other person feels valued. So ask yourself this question: what can I do to increase my value to others? Ask yourself that question. What can I do to increase my value of others? It's entirely on you. My friends, it is exciting to think about this lesson. This lesson has been the one that's most powerful for me in everything that I've studied in the last 10 years. And many of you have heard me say that communication is only as good as it is received. And the reason that I say that is because if you're not receiving what I'm saying, if you're not receiving what I'm putting out, then I'm still making mistakes on my end. And I need your help. I'm going to ask for you to help me at this time. Share with me what I can do better. Share with me, just like that letter that we just read, Mr. Ego, we can't connect to you. When you get rid of the ego, we'll come back. See, I struggle with that too, just like you do. So if you will share with me in the comments, share with me via email what my struggles are that is preventing me from connecting with you, I would greatly appreciate it. I would greatly appreciate it. And I am so looking forward to continuing to connect with you on our Think Tank Thursday. We have several more lessons in Everyone Communicates and Few Connect. We have many more to go. And through this process, I really hope that your ability to connect with people grows tenfold. Because the crazy thing is, if your ability to connect grows tenfold, so do your results. In fact, as an organization, Rebecca and I were talking about it, and one of the core focuses that we're going to make in Kylan Hunt and Company is communication. Communication, as we see the breakdown of communication across our world, we're going to begin focusing more and more and more on that as we move forward. We need it internally at our company. You need it in your company. You need it in your family. And we're going to continue to focus more on communication. And one of the most important things, again, is you must think about others when you're communicating. All right, my friends, make it an amazing week, super amazing week. I know this is a little unprofessional, if you will. Hopefully you were able to withstand the noise and everything that was going on. I do appreciate you committing your time to this. I look forward to hearing your feedback on how we can better serve you. So make it an amazing week, my friends. God bless, and we will see you next week on Think Tank Thursday.